Hi friends, this is Rika. Welcome to this class. This class is all about inner strength and inner power. So we will work the core, but we will also do some twists and turns to activate the solar plexus chakra, which is located just above the navel. For that, we will need a blanket at the back of our mat, so place it somewhere close, and 2 blocks somewhere close to the front of your mat. We will start this class with a pranayama, the Kapalabhati pranayama, which is the fire breathing, or one of the fire breathings. There are 2. This is the one with the active and forceful exhalations and automatic inhalations. For that, we will start in Thunderbolt pose, Vajrasana, in the center of our mat. You can either tuck your toes under or keep them untucked. You can also, if you want, come into an easy pose, but this pose elongates the spine, lifts your spine a little bit longer and stronger, opening up the respiratory tract here. So we will do 3 rounds. Each round will consist of 20 to 40 breaths. This depends on your level of pranayama, if you have done breathing techniques already, or if you're a complete new and beginner to this. So I will first demonstrate how this will look like, and then we will get into it. I will guide you in each step, and you don't have to think about anything but counting your breaths. So each breath consists of an automatic inhalation and a forceful exhalation. First, we go into a inhalation. At the beginning of each round, we start with inhaling around 50% of air into our lungs, and then we exhale forcefully. This will look like this. We will keep exhaling forcefully, as I just did, for 20 to 40 breaths. This depends, again, on your level of pranayama. After the 20, 30 or 40 counts, you exhale long and steady. So it will look like this. And then you activate your malabandhas, the energy locks within your body, by tilting your pelvis to the front, your navel to the spine, and chin to chest. Hold the breath for 7 to 10 counts, and afterwards you inhale slow and steady again. Each round will be the same. You will have a break in between, so we will breathe normally in our natural cycle of breaths, and then I will guide you back into the next round. So let's get started. I invite you to come in this Thunderbolt pose now. Maybe roll your shoulders back once or twice. And then keep your shoulders back and down, slightly lifting your chest up, lifting through the crown of your head, making your spine very long. And then bring your awareness towards your breath, how your breath moves into your body, through your solar plexus chakra, maybe all the way into your tummy. Take one more deep inhale and exhale here. Maybe take your right hand onto your tummy. Inhale to exhale sharp. Last one, slow and steady. Activate your bandhas. Hold for 7 to 10 counts. Inhale slow and steady, and keep breathing in your natural rhythm. This pranayama activates the sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight mode. And it's very good because we usually throughout the day get into stress, and this activates the fight or flight mode as well. But we have unlearned how to get back into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is where pranayama helps to calm our mind back down again. We now move into the second round, so inhale and exhale deep. Inhale to exhale sharp. Last one, slow and steady. Hold here for 7. Inhale slow. And keep breathing in your natural cycles. I invite you to feel into your body. Maybe you already feel a difference. Now we move into our third and final round. So inhale and exhale deep. Inhale to exhale sharp. Last one, slow and steady. Hold your breath for 7 to 10. Maybe activating your mula bandhas. Inhale slow. And again, keep breathing in your natural rhythm. Take a few moments here, and if you like, sit back down into easy pose, Sukhasana, as we will start this flow back in Thunderbolt pose, so you can release your feet for just a little bit. Maybe you feel a difference already within your body, some heat within your upper body, your mind a little bit more awake or focused, your breath a little deeper. Whatever it is, just notice. And then release your hands into your heart center. And start to rub your palms together, creating some heat underneath your palms. Place your hands on top of your eyes and then start to peel open your eyes slowly. Place your hands wherever your body needs some love, some heat. And then we will come back into Vajrasana, Thunderbolt pose. Take your hands onto your knees, and with your inhale, start to lift up your chest. Look up, and with your exhale, round your back, look towards your navel. We do some seated cat-cows here. Inhale up, lift through the chest. And with your exhale, round your back, really draw your shoulder blades apart. Inhale up. And exhale, round your back. 2 more on your own. Really use the whole space for your breath, the whole movement for your breath. And with your next inhale, come back into a neutral position. Take your hands through the sides all the way up towards the ceiling. Look up. Keep your core strong, your ribcage tucked in. And with your exhale, bring your right hand to your left outside of the knee. Your left hand or arm comes to the back. Bend your elbow into 90 degrees. Inhale, come up. And with your exhale, come to the other side. Left hand onto the outside of your right knee. Your right arm bends, opening up the chest towards the side. Inhale up. Exhale, left. Inhale up. Exhale, right. 1 more on each side. Inhale, come back to center. Now with your exhale, release your hands in front of you. Tuck your toes under. And then bring your hands, rotate your hands outward. Your fingertips pointing towards the side of your mat. Start to shift from side to side a little bit, warming up your wrists. Try to keep equal amount of weight in all your fingertips. Have your hands or fingers widely spread here. Go as slowly or as fast as it feels comfortable. We're only warming up the wrists, so be mindful here. And then find stillness. Rotate your hands all the way towards your knees. Fingertips pointing the knees, and then sit back down. Maybe you can all the way untuck your toes and come back onto your heels. Really try to stretch the inside of your wrists here. Again, be careful, mindful. This is just a warm up. Maybe you want to do a little pulse. And then come back up, tuck your toes back under, rotate your hands inward all the way, fingertips pointing towards each other. And then shift again from side to side. Try to have your hands shoulder width apart or a little bit wider. And then find back stillness, rotate your hands into a normal stance. And then shift again from front to back a little bit. Feel the weight shifting from front to back and maybe also to the sides. Do whatever you think feels good right now. Whatever part of your wrist needs some warming up. And then sit back onto your heels, untuck your toes, and rotate your hands a little bit to release from the pressure it had. Maybe you want to also do something with your fingers, whatever feels good. And then we find our way into Uttanasana, forward fold to the front of our mat. So come onto your feet, fold over your thighs, and then grab the opposing elbows here. Really bend your knees so that your torso is touching your thighs. And you can gently slide from side to side a little bit. Release your neck, your head, shake from side to side. Release your lower back. Let everything hang nice and heavy. And then with your next inhale, release your hands and slowly start to roll yourself up into a standing posture, Tadasana, mountain pose. Really go as slow as you can, vertebra by vertebra. Your head comes last. Roll your shoulders back. And then make sure your feet are hip distance apart, parallel to each other. Your hands are either facing to the front or to your thighs. Strong arms here. Take a breath here in this mountain pose. Really strong core. And with your inhale, reach your arms through the sides all the way up towards the ceiling. With your exhale, fold over your thighs. Inhale, come into a Adho Uttanasana, half lift, hands onto your shins, look to the front. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders, step back into high plank. Lower down knees, chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra, untuck your back toes, lift your chest up, look to the front. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you need, walk your dog a little bit, bending one knee at a time. Maybe twist from side to side, looking left and to right. And then find stillness. Take one breath here. Now with your inhale, lift your heels, step to the front of the mat, come directly into a half lift to look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms through the sides all the way up into standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up. We do this again. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, look up, straight back. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders, step back into high plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin. Inhale, lift up to baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for 3 breaths. Keep your shoulders away from your ears, lift through the pelvis. Maybe look towards your navel. Keep your core engaged, your rib cage tucked in. Inhale, lift your heels, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms through the sides all the way up into standing Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. We do this again, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift to look up, straight back. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders, step back into high plank. This time choose knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here for 3. Keep some weight in the back of your feet as well. Really lifting through the pelvis. Inhale, lift your heels, step or jump to the front of the mat. Come into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms through the sides all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands to your sides. Roll your shoulders back one time. And then we move into Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutations B. With your inhale, bend your knees, lower your hips, lift your arms up, pelvis is tucked in, chair pose Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up, Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders, step back into high plank, lower knees, stretch chin or chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose, step in between your hands. Lower your back foot into 45 degrees. Reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, lower back down. Step back into high plank Phalakasana. Lower down through Chaturanga or knees stretch chin. Inhale, upward facing dog, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, step in between your hands. Lower your back foot down, 45 degrees, reach your arms up. Inhale, warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders, step back into Phalakasana, high plank, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale, lift your heels, step or jump to the front of the mat. Come into a half lift, Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach your arms through the sides all the way up, Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands to your sides. Again, roll your shoulders back. Take a breath here. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back down, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders, step back into high plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up, stay here. Bend your knee, lift your knee up, opening your hip. Shoulders stay squared. And then start to rotate your knee, drawing some circles. Really opening up this hip. Make as big of circles as you possibly can. And then change the direction. Inhale, lift your right leg back up towards the ceiling, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose. Step in between your hands this time. Stay in high lunge, reach your arms up. Exhale, lower your left hand onto the mat. Reach your right arm up into a twist. Keep your back leg engaged. By rotating it outward a little bit. Maybe look towards your right fingertips or to the front. Inhale here. And with your exhale, place your right hand where your left hand was. Rotate your back foot into 90 degrees and then reach your left arm up, opening up your hip here. You can stay with your arm up or you reach towards the front into side angle. Keep some pressure in between your upper arm and your knee. So like you would put a paper in between and it can't fall out. Inhale, extend your front leg, rotate your front foot parallel to the back leg, and then come into a forward fold. Take some breaths here. Really fold through your hips and not your lower back. You can also massage your lower back a little bit downward. And then with your next inhale, rotate all the way back towards the front, bend your front knee, and then step back into high plank. Do a vinyasa if you want. And then come into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. Draw some circles on this side, as big as it can get. Keep your shoulders squared. And then change the direction. Reach your right arm, leg up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, come up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Really engage your core here, maybe lifting through your shoulder blades. Inhale up. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose. Step in between your hands. Stay in high lunge. Ashtha Chandrasana. Reach your arms up. Exhale, right hand onto the mat. Left arm comes up. Into a twist here. Keep your right foot rotated outward a little bit to engage the glutes. Engage the upper thigh. With your next exhale, replace your right hand with the left hand. Rotate your back foot into 90 degrees. Reach your right arm up. Either stay here or reach the right arm towards the front into extended side angle pose. Inhale, extend your front leg. Pivot your front foot parallel to the back foot and come into wide-legged forward fold. This time grab your ankles or your big toes and gently pull yourself closer towards your thighs. With your next inhale, place your hands underneath your shoulders and then start to lift off your heels. So you're really engaging your core here. Try to stay as low as you can with your upper body and keep lifting your heels. And then coming back down, lifting back up. Really use your core to hold you. One more. And come back down, rotate all the way towards the front, bend your front knee, hands underneath your shoulders, step back into Phalakasana, high plank, do a vinyasa or come directly to down dog. Three breaths in downward facing dog. Slow and steady. Strong upper body, strong back, strong core. Inhale, lift your heels, step or jump to the front of the mat. Come into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back down, reach your arms up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, lift up Tadasana. Release your hands to your sides, roll your shoulders back. Take a breath here. We do this again, adding a little bit more into it. So if you inhale, sit back down, chair pose, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders, step back into high plank, Vinyasa. Meet in downward facing dog. Or if you inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Step in between your hands. Reach your arms up. Ashtachandrasana. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Right arm comes up, twist. And breathe here. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Keep the energy inside by pressing your fingers together. And then exchange your hand. Rotate your back foot into 90 degrees again. Open up your hip side angle. Keep the pressure in between your right upper arm and your left knee and right knee, sorry. Inhale, extend your front leg, pivot again into wide-legged forward fold. Maybe you can place your forearms onto the mat underneath you if this is the case. And this is also something you practice. Then you can come into Savasana A, headstand or supported handstand, by interlacing your fingers, placing your elbows underneath your shoulders, and then place the crown of your head onto the mat, the back of your head into your hands, and start lifting up your legs towards the ceiling. Rotate your legs outward to keep your legs straight. Only do this if you have the practice, if you regularly do this. Breathe wherever you are for 3, 2, 1. And then with your exhale, come back down as slowly as you came in. Take a breath here, rotate back towards the front of the mat, and then pivot your right foot to the outside of the mat. Your hands are inside. We will now move into a preparatory pose for Eka Pada Koundinyasana, which is the hurdle pose. So for that, we will need the blocks. Place them right in front of you into shoulder width. Your hands come behind your foot, so where your heel is on the same line, place your hands. Maybe you need to adjust the blocks a little bit. And then we will shift forward like we would do when we go into Chaturanga. And we shift forward and then lower down onto the blocks with our upper arms or with our shoulders. Can stay here in this Chaturanga pose, or you can also start to lift off the right leg, right foot. And stay here for 3 breaths. And then come back out as slow and nice as you can. And then step back into Phalakasana, high plank. Lower your knees down and sit back down into Child's Pose Balasana. Take a breath here. We will do this again, this time without the blocks, or if you want, and you're practicing this, then you can also do the blocks again. Otherwise, we're moving straight into the full hurdle pose. So if you inhale, come back up. Remove the blocks or keep them there. And then step into your Uttanapishtasana again, lizard pose with your foot onto the outside of the mat. Tuck your back toes under, lift up, and then place your hands again behind your heel. Your elbows are coming inward, as in Chaturanga always. And then shift your weight over your wrists, lower down into Chaturanga arms, and then place your upper right thigh onto your elbow. Maybe you can reach your left hip onto your left elbow, and then lift one leg up, the other leg up, straighten the right leg, and stay here, look towards the front. Keep your core engaged. And wherever you are, slowly make your way back into child's pose. Take a breath here. Maybe release your hands towards the ceiling. And with your next inhale, come back up. Step back into Valakasana, high plank. Do a vinyasa or come directly to downward facing dog. One breath here. And with the next inhale, lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knee to nose, step in between your hands. Reach your arms up, Ashtha Chandrasana. Exhale, right hand to the mat, left arm comes up. Breathe here. Rotate your back foot outward a little bit. And then exhale, exchange your hands, rotate your back foot outward, open up your hip, come into a extended side angle. With your inhale, extend your front leg and then pivot into your wide-legged forward fold. If you did or didn't do on the other side, you have now again the chance to come into supported headstand. Therefore, place your elbows underneath your shoulders, place your interlaced fingers onto the mat underneath you, and then place your forehead in onto the mat and your back of the head into your hands. And start to peel off your legs towards the ceiling. This time, stay here for a breath, slow and steady. And then with your exhale, slowly come back down. Take a breath in your forward fold. And then inhale, rotate towards the front of the mat. Pivot your left foot to the outside, both hands in the center, Uttanapishtasana. And then take your blocks again right in front of you, underneath your shoulders. So actually on the height of your left foot, place your hands behind your heel. And then shift your weight front and come into Chaturanga, arms on this side. Maybe again here you can place your left thigh onto your left elbow and lift your foot up. You can also already look to the front, as this is where we will be looking later. And then slowly release, come back into child's pose. Take some breaths here to release, and then we will move into the full hurdler pose if you want. Otherwise, you can do the preparation again. I'll inhale, lift up into Valakasana. Step all the way to the front with your left foot. Place your hands right behind your heel. And then again, start to shift over your wrists with your weight. Come into Chaturanga arms. Keep the blocks or remove them. And then place your left thigh onto your elbow. Maybe your right hip comes onto your right elbow. And then start lifting both legs up. Maybe extending the left leg. Stay here for 3, 2, and release into Balasana. Take some breaths here. Maybe this time take your legs a little bit wider. Release your hands again towards the ceiling. When your breath has slowed down a little bit, and come back into high plank Valakasana. Do one vinyasa or come directly to down dog. And take 3 breaths here. Really lifting through your pelvis. Inhale, lift your heels, step or jump to the front of the mat, come into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back down, chair pose. Exhale, come all the way up into standing, hands towards center. Roll your shoulders back. We will now move into half of a Surya Namaskar A. So inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders. Step back to high plank. Lower down through Chaturanga, all the way onto the mat. Maybe adjust a little bit and then place your chin on the mat, your hands to your sides, palms facing the mat. Bring your toes to touch. We do one lift up to locust pose. So with your inhale, lift your chest and lift your legs at the same time. Lift your arms. Look to the front. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Lower slowly back down, hands underneath your shoulders, and come into Child's Pose Balasana towards the back of your mat. One deep breath here. And with your next inhale, bring your hands towards your knees, sit back down onto your heels, and then swing your legs towards the front. Sit into the center of your mat. And then we will do some more for our core. So lift your shins parallel to the mat, lift your arms above your head, stay here or extend your legs to the front for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly lower down, hover above the mat, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Take a breath in Savasana corpse pose. And then bend your knees towards your chest. And take one hug here, rock from side to side a little bit. Massage your lower back. And then place your feet right behind your buttocks. Take them a little bit wider than hip distance so that your fingers can easily touch your heels. Place your palms onto the mat. And with your inhale, lift up into bridge pose. So lift your hips, come onto your shoulders, lift your chest, and keep some space between your chest and chin so your neck is elongated here. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Lift a little higher. And with your exhale, release vertebra by vertebra. Now we will do this again and add a little bit onto it. So take your blanket that you have right behind you and place it underneath your head. And then with your inhale, start again to lift up your hips towards the ceiling. Maybe come onto your shoulder blades, onto your shoulders. Squeeze your thighs together. Either stay here or take your hands next to your ears. And then lift yourself up onto the crown of your head. Your elbows are sticking up. And then place the crown of your head onto the mat or onto the blanket. And if you want, you can stay here with your hands on the mat, or you lift your hands up to your shoulders, hold your shoulders crossed, and then breathe for 3. Squeeze your thighs. 2. Engage your core. 1. And slowly release your hands back down and release your head. Release your back down onto the mat. Bring your feet mat width apart. Let your knees fall inward. Take a few balancing breaths here. If you want to try this again, feel free to do so with my guidance. Otherwise, you can also come into bridge pose again, or maybe into Urdhva Dhanurasana full wheel. So your feet are again close to your buttocks, a little bit wider than your hips so that your hands can easily touch your heels. Take the blanket underneath your head, close to your shoulders, and then place your hands next to your ears, elbows sticking upward, fingertips pointing towards the shoulders. Start to lift up into bridge pose first, and then lift up onto the crown of your head. Either stay here with your hands as support, or take your hands in front of your chest, crossing one hand to the other elbow, other shoulder. Keep lifting through your hips. Slow and steady breaths here. And with your next exhale, release hands onto the mat. Release your head and roll down onto the mat, vertebra by vertebra. Take your feet apart, knees inward. And then you can remove the mat from behind or from underneath and take your knees towards your chest again. Rock from side to side a little bit. Inhale your legs up towards the ceiling into a straight line, legs up the wall pose. And then we come into a twist. Take your arms straight to the sides or into cactus arms. And then lower your legs down towards the right. Either both at the same time, if that's available. Otherwise, one leg and then the other one as slowly as you can. Look up or towards your left fingers. And breathe here fully into the tummy. Keep both shoulder blades grounded into the mat. Maybe close your eyes down. Enjoy this deep twist through the solar plexus. With your next inhale, come back to center. Again, maybe one leg at a time or both at the same time. And then meet in the center. Take a breath here, balancing out your spine. And then start to lower towards the other side. Okay, I can't. And then breathe here, ground both shoulder blades in the mat. Look up or towards your right fingertips. Feel the deep stretch in your spine. The activation of your solar plexus. And now with straight legs, come back up. One leg at a time or both at once. Take a breath or a few breaths here in this legs up the wall pose. You can take your hands onto your tummy to feel your breath. You can also rotate your feet or do whatever feels good. And then with your next exhale, slowly start to lower your legs straight down onto the mat. Go as slowly as you can, engaging your core, your glutes, your legs, and then hover for 3, 2, 1, and release all the way into the mat underneath you. Release your arms, your legs. Let go of all the tension within your muscles. Maybe by using your breath for that. Inhaling through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. One more like this. Completely surrender yourself into the mat underneath you. And then again, bring your awareness towards your solar plexus, the space above your belly button. And maybe visualize a yellow bright light shining in there within your solar plexus chakra, creating some warmth. filling up all the space, all the way to the side of your body and to the back of your body, creating so much light that it fills up all the aura around you. And while this light is vibrant and bright, filling up the space, repeat to yourself out loud or quietly, I feel my power within. I am worthy. I have the strength to do whatever and whenever I want. Maybe repeat a few more times to yourself. Bring your awareness back towards your solar plexus and how your breath moves in and out of it. And then slowly start to bring some movement back into your body. Start by moving your fingers and toes. Rotate your hands and feet. And then maybe reach your arms above your head, make yourself really long. Bend your knees towards your chest, make yourself small, and roll onto one side. Stay on this side for just a moment to find back into your physical body, to find back into your room and into your surrounding. And when you feel ready, use your upper hand to gently and slowly press yourself up into a seated posture. Take your hands to your heart center. May your day or evening be filled with inner strength and power. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel your inner strength and power now and can start into the day or week with more energy. I hope to see you in my next video. And if you like this one or are interested in new ones to come, subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment on this video, do whatever.